All right, guys, today we're going to take a look at the new rear quarter side glass flags, or decals really, for the Ford Mustang. We do have a flag and we also have some simulated louvers. These things are incredibly easy to put on. We don't require you to cut anything out by hand. We're going to cut this decal perfectly to shape. It fits right in. You can't mess it up really. So we're going to go over first what it takes to put this on. Then we're going to put these on one design at a time and show you what they look like. Okay, so really all we're gonna need to put this decal on is a squeegee, a cloth, and some of our application fluid. This is what you're gonna buy and get in the mail. You take this little bottle, unscrew it, and drop it into a gallon of water. That's gonna make you a gallon of application fluid. We didn't see a reason for you to pay shipping for a gallon. It's much easier to ship you this. Then you end up with much more fluid, and you just put it in the bottle of your choice. So this bottle is armed with this fluid. I've also got a Lux Light Wrap squeegee with a buffer on it. I do have one of our pro knives just in case I need it, and a microfiber towel. This is a very easy decal to apply, and we're gonna go for it now. All right, so first thing is first, we wanna make sure that the glass is perfectly smooth and clean. We've already been wrapping on this vehicle, so it is very, very clean. It's smooth to the touch. I don't feel any grit, any dust, anything. But I am, even though we've been cleaning it, gonna completely douse these edges once again in fluid. The reason I do that is so that if there's any dirt or anything trapped up there, the fluid helps it fall to the bottom of the window before we go to the decal and we end up putting it into the glass. So we've got that nice and wet. This is a wet application method. I'm gonna move the other two designs and go to just the flag, since that's where we're gonna be starting. The easiest way to remove the backing paper from these decals is to flip them upside down, to hold the decal flat and remove the backing paper at a very, very sharp angle. This helps the decal want to stay to the transfer paper and we won't mess up the design. I still am going very slow though, just to make sure we don't have anything odd. We've got the window wet. We're gonna wet the back of the flag. Pick it up, not touching the black if possible. It's not critical, but you see, all I have to do is just kind of float it in place on this glass. Make sure that it's properly in place, but because it's cut to the right size, that's really all there is to it. Now we're just gonna take the card, and the name of the game is evacuate all the water from behind the decal. So you saw how I started in the middle and started squeegeeing out. That's exactly what I'm gonna do. A lot of times I'm squeegeeing left and right and not straight down. The only reason I'm doing that is because I know the flag decal is underneath it, and it's a little easier to run the water out the direction of the flag. So now I'm gonna flip and go to the buffered side. There we go. I feel like I've squeegeed that completely down. Now you notice we use a paper transfer mask and not a clear mask like other companies do. There's a reason for that. The reason is when you use paper, you can soak it. Once you soak it, the paper starts to soften up. You can see these fingers start to form and work their way across. Look at that. It's perfect. There's another one running right now. So we're gonna let this sit for just a couple of seconds. Watch these work their way around. What's happening here is that paper is softening. So I'm gonna be able to pull it off with less adhesion to the decal, helping the glass hold the decal there. So I think we've waited long enough. We'll find out. I'm gonna start over here. Okay, this, as you can see, we actually still have some flag stuck to the back of this decal. That's because it's really hard to get a squeegee right here to press all that moisture out. But I'm gonna go ahead and push this back down, put it back in place, and all we're gonna do is start from another area. Don't be afraid to change directions. It's really amazing sometimes how much that can help. This one is definitely giving me a little bit more grief, so all I'm gonna do, squeegee this down again, and just wait longer. So as you can see here, everything doesn't go exactly to plan for me, and it sometimes doesn't for you either. But what I'm showing you here is it's not game over. We don't have to panic and go, oh my gosh, it's coming up with the paper, what am I gonna do? This is completely ruined, because it's not. If the decal's not sticking to the glass right now, there's only one reason. That's because we still have moisture behind there. So all we have to do is let that dry out and give it another shot. As you can see now, I'm able to remove the transfer paper. It's nice and soft. I'm again going at a very sharp angle away from the car. I'm not pulling this way. The reason I do that is because the decal's stuck to the glass. It doesn't want to fold over, but doing this is a little bit easier for it. So pull this off here. Oh, the last stripe kind of pulled up. I'm just gonna go ahead and squeegee that back down. Flag decal is actually one of the most complicated decals there is because it's just all different shapes, different pieces. There's a lot of different pieces to get the water out from behind. Look, if I want to wait and let that dry a little longer, all I have to do is tear the paper. And now we've got rid of the field of stars. It's on the car. I know I can go ahead and just pull this off because there's nothing but stripes. There we go, got that. Now let's just be careful and not pull up that bottom stripe, which I can see stuck to the glass right there. Look, I changed directions and we had no problem removing that. So that was a very, very good install for the camera because you got to see what happens when it's not perfect, when it doesn't go exactly like you'd want. What I'm doing here is not putting much pressure. I'm using the buffer almost to pick up the fluid. And now I'm going to switch and start dabbing. I'm only doing this because it's not cured yet. We still have a lot of liquid around here, and I don't want my towel to catch any of these points and pull the decal up. Now we'll start to rub it, but if you notice, I'm starting on the stripe and I'm rubbing down so I don't hit any points. I'm not going to start rubbing on the field of stars yet. But at this point, the American flag is fully applied to this vehicle. It is done. All we have to do is pull this out in the sun, let it take care of the rest of the moisture behind, and we will be good to go.